Klopp's Liverpool have been a dominant 4-3-3 side. A few years without the ball, they always switch to 4-1-4-1 without the ball. So, Klopp is best placed to take on Bielsa's 4-1-4-1 with a high press, right? Welcome back to the channel for the very exciting tactical analysis of the Premier League as Klopp's Liverpool went up against Leeds Bielsa in Anfield. It was a fascinating tactical battle as two of the great minds when it comes to pressing went to war. And did we have a spectacle of a game, which actually makes for a more exciting tactical analysis. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The battle took place at Anfield, where Klopp's Liverpool scored 4 goals thanks to a hat-trick from Mohamed Salah, as well as 1 goal for Virgil Van Dijk. And on the other side, Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds scored 3 goals, with goals from Jack Harrison Klich, as well as Patrick Bamford. When we look at the XG, it's a well-deserved win for Liverpool. When we have a look at some of the stats that were in the game, well, we can kind of see. Possession, it's pretty even, with Leeds slightly shaving the percentage. Pressing is a major component of the way both teams play, and it's important to have a look at these stats. The fact that Leeds actually had a lot more tackles than Liverpool, whereas Liverpool were a lot more efficient, actually having 7 turnovers in the opposition half, as opposed to Leeds, who only had the single turnover in the opposition half. More on that when we have an in-depth look at both teams' pressing, including Marcelo Bielsa's aggressive man-marking and aggressive pressing system. Let's have a look at how the teams line up, and we start with Liverpool. Liverpool had their classic 4-3-3, with Salah, Mane and Firmino all up front. Over to Leeds, and Bielsa started a 4-1-4-1 formation with Bamford and Phillips striker and defensive midfield respectively. Lineups done. Let's have a look at build-up, starting with Liverpool. Liverpool were intent on playing a high line from the get-go, and were not afraid to progress the ball from Alisson to the fullbacks. But at the same time, they were equally not afraid to give the ball to Van Dijk for one of these long raking balls to either Sadio Mane or Mo Salah. It can be seen in the stats as both Trent and Robertson had the highest touches for Liverpool. Over to Leeds, and their build-up couldn't be any more different as they looked to build up from the back with short passes into the defenders, and from there progressing the ball either to the fullbacks or through Phillips, for Phillips to actually progress the ball and dictate the tempo. Leeds scored their first and third goals from building up from the back, especially the first goal, where Bobby Firmino, who was man-marking Phillips, decided to go press the goalkeeper, and at the same time it left Phillips free to receive the ball. Realizing this, Keita tries to close Phillips down. And despite the best efforts from Trent, as well as Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk, well, Harrison scores Leeds' first equaliser to make it 1 apiece. Over to pressing, and Leeds adopted a very aggressive pressing and counter-pressing style. This style is brilliant. It's man-marking, but at the same time, there's always an extra player. In actual fact, the entire Bielsa system gives you an extra player defending as well as an extra player attacking. Let's have a look at some of the receipts. First example, Mohamed Salah's first goal. Leeds are defending, and you can see exactly how many players they have back. Enough to man mark and then have 1 spare. Here's a receipt on attacking player. They've got exactly 1 more player than Liverpool in the box, and that's where the third goal comes from. Bielsa's side are very high energy, which equals energy sapping, and he's helped by the fact that he has the youngest average age in the Premier League at 24.7. Wasn't surprised by the 4-1-4-1 formation, as a few years back, even though Liverpool played 4-3-3, well, without the ball, they played 4-1-4-1. Klopp, in his press conference, gave a detailed breakdown of the Liverpool goals conceded. So, as he speaks, I'm going to put the receipts on screen.
The goals we conceded, the first goal, both fullbacks were deeper than the centre-halves. That should never happen in football, actually, and it happened. The second goal, I think, was a misunderstanding between Virgil and Ali. So things I can. The third one, we changed Hendo, I think, a minute before or so.
I analysed all of Liverpool's goals, but they were all set pieces apart from Mo Salah's goal, which was winning the first ball after a set piece. So there you have it, Liverpool versus Leeds in 5 minutes. Let me know if you prefer this level of detail, or you want me to make longer videos in future where I go into more detail. Post a tactical analysis of every single Liverpool game this season, as well as a few other clubs. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed, like, share and comment, and as always, until next time.